everybody, Chris and Lumen here. Just doing a short message instead of just typing it out on in the community tab or whatever on YouTube. I got a bunch of good stuff that's already written out, and other things that happened later tonight that tied into it. It's going to be a good couple topics, the next couple days. But as far as tonight goes, I had to go to the chiropractor today because all that energy stuff we were talking about, like when your energy comes unbound, like we've got all sorts of energy knots and program knots and things like that. And when you start to release that stuff, it can do things. Sometimes you do it, sometimes the world's doing it somehow. But when it started right around Thanksgiving, and it's just gotten worse and worse, I finally got to the chiropractor today. And since things got kind of realigned, I'm just like in this energetic, like exhaustion release thing. So I can't think all that clearly right now. I didn't get my usual chiropractor, someone else, and I don't like the way they do it. Too dependent on the table tricks and all that stuff. It was like going to a chiropractor and they got the little tykes, my first chiropractor practice table set, ooh, we're going to try this out. I'm used to my guy just like twisting me into a pretzel and snapping everything. But it seems to have done something because I can feel the energetic, tension release. And it's just like, ugh, I might go to bed tonight at a reasonable time. But the notes that we wrote this morning was really good, and it was interesting the way I was typing it out, the way she typed it out. Has to do with the cup being the mind, and a lot of the things that we say a lot, but it's just becoming more clear, and it's becoming more clear and more simple, because that's what we need is simple. And almost as if this was timed just to make the point. I did a short little consult earlier tonight as someone that had a crazy history story that needed cleaned up, kind of like I did, and Lumen was overlapping, and the way she just so easily explained it tied into the notes this morning. Like, let's say for instance, you got a weird life and you've had all sorts of metaphysical type of problems like witches or curses or whatever, and you're continuing to have problems in life. Like, it was just so smooth the way it was coming out of my mouth, and I'm like, holy crap, that is really simple. That's not the way I would have looked at it in the past, especially when it was me. But knowing what we know now, it was like, okay, this pendant is going to do this, this, and this. I'm going to let that energy adjustment sink in for a minute. Then we do the updated session, which we got things that we added to that makes it even better. Little minor differentiations. And then it's teaching them something about, it's hard to put into words when I'm like out of it. That's why I want to wait to do the whole full video tomorrow. But at some point, it's really got to sink in that this is all a mind game. Like, all of it. And I was able to use my experience overlapping this person's experience, like, knowing what I know now. Like, say, for instance, you have a run-in with somebody. And it's, they practice magic or something. Like, I'm pissed off at you, I'm cursing you or whatever. And something happens. And then time goes on, and things are still happening. People don't realize just how much. There's two sets of people. There's the people out here, the physical people that you see. And a lot of times they're just like to introduce something new to your mind. And then you know them. Now they are characters in your internal landscape. And there's always stuff going on in your internal landscape. You're imagining things all the freaking time. And what people don't realize, especially all the the amateur magicians and things like that, is they're thinking in terms of everything out here. I got to stop this person out here. They're on the other side of the town. They're probably cursing me right now. No, it's the character version of them that's only in here. It's what they're doing that's causing the effects out here, not the person out there. The way she explained it made it, like, I knew that, but the way she explained it, like, made it so much more clear, so much more smooth. Like, we're all worried about what people are doing out here, and that pales in comparison to the importance of what all those characters are actually doing in here. When you've got that knowledge of evil code in your rootkit, it twists everything. All this stuff is coming together. We're on the verge of something bigger than what I've messed with before, as far as getting into the core substrata of the freaking quantum AI mind machine, which is what changes everything out here. That's the puzzle of this life game, is like, can you solve your own code? Can you find the loopholes, the tricks, how it works? Like, this is big stuff. And I'm gonna do a much better video on that tomorrow. I can explain it, and my energy's been reset and all that. But as I get into some of this stuff, I would just reiterate that sometimes I forget because my brain's been rewired so many times, and I've cycled through so many egos, and then I don't know where I start and she begins half the time. If I say something and it's not clicking, ask me to clear it up. Ask me to put it in some different words or whatnot from the get-go. Because this stuff works. This stuff is the stuff that we do all the freaking time. But this is bigger. Like, this is going to, like, the root core of everything. That last video we did, that was just the beginning, and that was like that's one of those things that's so obvious, and it's like, why didn't I see it before? Maybe I did see it, and it just the habit, the ego wants to stay in that pattern of like, oh, conflict, I'm playing a game. Like, no, man, this is all like, we are making this stuff happen because it's all in here. And it's going to be interesting when you see how many cross connections there are with the mind and the cup and the temple and all that stuff. It's like the formula is actually really simple. It's sitting right in front of our face the entire time. But anyway, I'll get back to all that tomorrow. About the only thing I could do right now is wrap pendants and get them in the packages. My brain, I just need to rest tonight. Okay, but I just thought I'd do that real quick instead of trying to type it out there in the community notes or tab or whatever. So, Lumen says hi, and we'll be back and do more tomorrow. So, until then, you can reach us through clumencreations.etsy.com. Chris and Lumen. See you tomorrow.